Story 1. The Whispering Effigy. In 1993, hikers in Oregon's Tillamook Forest found a straw effigy hanging from a tree. It was human-shaped, adorned with bones and strange symbols carved into bark. The air felt heavy, and faint whispers seemed to come from nowhere. Police found no evidence of who made it or why. It vanished days later. The hikers swore the whispers spoke their names, urging them to stay. No footprints or tools were found, baffling investigators. The effigy's materials didn't match local flora or fauna. Locals avoid the trail, claiming the whispers linger. Some believe it was a ritual object, tied to an unknown cult. Others think it was a prank, but the carving's precision suggested otherwise. Police closed the case, citing insufficient evidence. The forest remains silent, but the mystery endures. Years later, a ranger found similar symbols scratched into rocks nearby. They appeared overnight, with no human presence. The whispers still echo on moonless nights, some say. No one dares investigate further. The effigy's purpose remains unknown, its creator a ghost. Was it a warning, a summon, or something darker? The woods hold their secrets tightly. The case file gathers dust, unexplained. Story 2. The Clock That Never Stopped. In 2001, a camper in the Black Hills found an antique pocket watch buried under leaves. It was ticking, despite being rusted and caked in dirt. The inscription read, "Time waits for no one but you." Police couldn't trace its owner or explain its pristine ticking. The camper felt uneasy, claiming the watch vibrated faintly in his hand. Tests showed it hadn't been wound in decades, yet kept perfect time. No jeweler could open it without the mechanism seizing. It was locked away, but staff heard ticking through the vault. Investigators found no other clues in the area. The watch's design matched no known manufacturer. Some speculated it was a lost traveler's relic, but who? The case was shelved, the watch still ticking. Locals reported time lapses near the site. Watches stopped, hours passed in minutes. No scientific explanation was found. The forest seemed to warp time itself. The mystery deepened with no leads. The watch remains under lock, its ticking relentless. Who buried it, and why does it defy decay? Police have no answers. The woods keep their secret. Story 3. The Vanishing Village. In 1987, a hiker in the Adirondacks found a cluster of abandoned cabins. They were furnished, with food still on tables, as if people left mid-meal. No records of a settlement existed in that forest. Police searched but found no trace of inhabitants. The cabins were old, yet untouched by decay or animals. Photos taken by investigators developed blank, despite clear shots. Locals whispered of a ghost town that appeared only to some. The site was gone when police returned. Soil samples showed no human activity for centuries. Yet, the furniture was modern, dated to the 1970s. No missing persons matched the area's profile. The mystery deepened without leads. Hikers now hear laughter or footsteps near the site. Some see cabins in the fog, vanishing when approached. Police dismissed it as folklore. The forest holds the truth, unspoken. What was the village, and where did it go? No explanation fits the evidence. The case remains open, a riddle. The Adirondacks keep their silence. Story 4. The Silent Choir. In 1999, teens in the Smoky Mountains heard singing deep in the woods. They found a circle of stones, each etched with a musical note. The singing stopped when they approached, leaving eerie silence. Police found no source for the sound or carvings. The stones were ancient, but the etchings were fresh, unweathered. Tests showed no tool marks, as if the notes appeared naturally. The teens reported nightmares of faceless singers. The site was cordoned off, but nothing was found. Locals spoke of a choir heard on certain nights, always stopping when approached. No one could identify the melody or language. Police attributed it to wind or imagination. The stones remain untouched. Some believe the stones are a gateway to something otherworldly. Others think it's a forgotten ritual site. No one has heard the singing since, but the air feels charged. The case is closed, unexplained. The forest guards its secrets, the stones silent witnesses. Who carved them, and what was the song? No answers exist. The mystery lingers like an unfinished note. Story 5. The Frozen Footprints. In 2010, a hunter in Alaska's Tongass Forest found barefoot prints in the snow. They led to a frozen lake, then stopped abruptly at the edge. No body or other tracks were found nearby. Police divers searched the lake but found nothing. The prints were small, like a child's, but impossibly deep. Tests showed they were made before a blizzard, yet remained pristine. The hunter felt watched while following them. The case stalled with no leads. Locals whispered of a spirit luring people to the lake. Others suggested a lost child, but no missing persons matched. The prints reappeared the next winter, same spot. Police could offer no explanation. Divers reported strange currents under the lake, pulling them downward. Equipment failed repeatedly during searches. The footprints vanished after a week, leaving no trace. The forest mocked the investigation. What made the prints, and where did they lead? The lake holds no answers. Police closed the case. The woods remain a silent enigma. Story 6. The Mirror in the Clearing. In 2005, a hiker in the Ozarks found a full-length mirror in a clearing. It was spotless, reflecting trees perfectly, with no stand or support. Police couldn't move it. It was impossibly heavy. No one knew how it got there. The hiker claimed her reflection showed her older, with unfamiliar scars. Others saw strangers in the glass. The mirror disappeared before further study. The site was empty when police returned. Soil tests showed no disturbance, as if the mirror was never there. Locals avoided the clearing, calling it cursed. Some dreamed of their own deaths after visiting. Police had no leads. A ranger later found faint scratches in the dirt, forming a spiral. They vanished under rain, leaving no evidence. The clearing feels colder than the surrounding woods. The mystery remains unsolved. Who placed the mirror, and why did it show impossible things? The forest offers no clues. The case is forgotten. The clearing waits, silent. Story 7. The Bone Altar. In 1996, campers in the Sierra Nevada found an altar of animal bones. It was a perfect circle, with a human tooth at the center. The tooth didn't match any missing persons. Police found no signs of recent human activity. The bones were from species, some extinct locally for decades. The altar was untouched by weather or scavengers. Campers heard low hums at night nearby. The tooth vanished from evidence. Investigators found no cultural or ritualistic matches for the altar. The area felt unnaturally still, even to rangers. Locals spoke of a presence guarding the woods. The case was closed without answers. Similar bone structures appeared in nearby forests years later. Each had a single human tooth, untraceable. No one claimed responsibility. The hums persist, faint but undeniable. What was the altar's purpose, and who left the teeth? The woods keep their secrets. Police moved on. The mystery endures. Story 8. The Phantom Broadcast. In 2008, a hiker in the Blue Ridge Mountains picked up a radio signal. It was a woman's voice repeating, "Help me, I'm still here." No source was found, and the signal vanished when police arrived. The frequency wasn't registered to any station. The hiker recorded the voice, but the audio distorted in police hands. It sounded like it came from miles away, yet was clear. No missing persons matched the voice. The case went cold quickly. Locals heard the plea on other nights, always fleeting. Radios picked it up, then lost it instantly. The woods seemed to carry the voice like an echo. Police dismissed it as a prank, with no evidence. Some believe it's a trapped spirit, others a lost broadcast from decades past. The signal still appears sporadically, untraceable. The forest holds the truth. The mystery remains unresolved. Who was the woman, and how did her voice reach the woods? No answers exist. Police gave up. The signal haunts the air. Story 9. The Unmoving Shadow. In 2015, a ranger in the Everglades saw a human-shaped shadow on a tree. It didn't move with the sun or wind, staying fixed for hours. No person was nearby to cast it, and it vanished at dusk. Police found no explanation or evidence. The ranger took photos, but the shadow didn't appear in them. Others saw it in different parts of the swamp. It always stood still, defying light and logic. The phenomenon stopped after a week. Investigators checked for projections or natural causes, finding none. The area felt oppressive, even in daylight. Locals called it a watcher from old legends. Police closed the case, stumped. The shadow reappeared in 2017 in a different grove, then vanished. No one has explained its source or purpose. The Everglades feel alive, watching back. The mystery persists, unanswered. What cast the shadow, and why did it linger? The swamp keeps its secrets. Police have no leads. The woods remain silent. Story 10. The Endless Path. In 2003, a hiker in the Pacific Northwest found a dirt path not on any map. It stretched straight, with no end, cutting through dense forest. His compass spun wildly, and time seemed to slow. Police found no record of the path's existence. The hiker returned with officers, but the path was gone. His photos showed only trees where it had been. He swore hours passed in minutes. The case was dismissed as disorientation, but he insisted otherwise. Locals reported similar paths appearing and vanishing over decades. Compasses fail, and watches stop on these trails. No survey has ever mapped them. The forest seems to shift around them. Some believe the paths lead to another realm, others to nowhere. No physical evidence remains after they vanish. Police stopped looking. The woods guard their secret routes. Where do the paths go, and who made them? No one knows. The case is closed. The forest keeps its endless mystery. Story 11. The Forgotten Playground. In 1994, a family in the Yorkshire Dales found a rusted playground in a clearing. Swings moved gently with no wind, and laughter echoed faintly. No records showed a playground ever existed there. Police found no explanation for its presence. The equipment was decades old, yet functional, with no signs of vandalism. The laughter stopped when approached, leaving silence. Soil tests showed no human activity for centuries. The playground vanished a week later. Locals spoke of children's voices at night near the site. No missing children were reported in the area. Photos of the playground developed with strange distortions. Police closed the case, baffled. Years later, hikers found rusted toys scattered in the clearing. They disappeared under scrutiny, leaving no trace. The area feels unnaturally quiet. The mystery remains unsolved. Who built the playground, and why did it vanish? The woods offer no answers. The case gathers dust. The laughter lingers in memory. Story 12. The Glass Sphere. In 2007, a hiker in the Black Forest found a glass sphere buried in the soil. It glowed faintly at night, with no apparent power source. Inside, shadowy shapes moved, but it was sealed shut. Police couldn't explain its origin or function. The sphere was cold to the touch, even in summer. Attempts to open it failed. It resisted all tools. The shapes inside seemed to mimic the viewer's movements. It was lost during transport to a lab. Investigators found no similar objects in historical records. The site showed no signs of human activity. Locals reported seeing faint lights in the woods since. Police had no leads to follow. Some believe the sphere was an artifact of unknown origin. Others think it was a prank, but its craftsmanship was too advanced. The glow persists in stories. The forest keeps its secret. What was the sphere, and what moved inside it? No answers were found. The case is closed. The woods remain silent. Story 13. The Stone Faces. In 1989, a camper in the Daintree rainforest found rocks carved with human faces. Each face was unique, with expressions of fear or pain. They were arranged in a spiral, facing inward. Police found no record of who carved them. The carvings were ancient, yet unweathered, defying erosion. No tools or debris were found nearby. The camper reported feeling watched by the faces. The spiral was dismantled, but the rocks vanished. Locals spoke of a curse tied to the stones, warning against touching them. No cultural match was found for the carvings. The area felt heavy, oppressive. Police closed the case without answers. Similar faces appeared on trees years later, then faded. No one could explain their appearance. The rainforest seems to guard them. The mystery endures, unsolved. Who carved the faces, and why did they scream in silence? The woods hold no clues. The case is forgotten. The spiral's secret remains. Story 14. The Iron Cage. In 2012, a ranger in the Rockies found an iron cage half buried in the ground. It was locked, with scratches inside suggesting something tried to escape. No key or occupant was found. Police couldn't trace its origin or purpose. The cage was rusted but intact, dated to the 1800s. The scratches were fresh, made by something sharp. The ranger heard faint tapping at night nearby. The cage was too heavy to move easily. Investigators found no human or animal remains nearby. Locals whispered of a trap for something not human. The cage was removed, but scratches reappeared on it in storage. The case stalled, unexplained. Hikers now avoid the area, reporting unease and tapping sounds. No explanation fits the evidence. The woods feel watchful. Police gave up the search. What was trapped in the cage, and who built it? The Rockies keep their secrets. The case is closed. The mystery lingers. Story 15. The Burned Book. In 2000, a hiker in the Appalachians found a charred book in a fire pit. Its pages were blank, but glowed faintly under moonlight. Words appeared briefly, then vanished when read. Police couldn't identify the book or its origin. The book was made of unknown material, resisting further burning. The words seemed to be in an unreadable script. The hiker felt dizzy holding it. It was lost from evidence lockup. Investigators found no signs of a recent fire at the site. Locals reported seeing glowing lights in the area. No one could decipher the script. The case was closed, unresolved. Years later, hikers found ash piles forming strange symbols nearby. They vanished under rain, leaving no trace. The woods feel alive at night. The mystery remains open. What was the book, and why did it glow? No answers were found. Police moved on. The forest guards its secret. Story 16. The Silent Bell. In 1997, a camper in the Scottish Highlands found a bronze bell hanging from a tree. It was silent when struck, absorbing all sound around it. No maker's mark or origin was found. Story 17. The Red Thread. In 2004, a hiker in Japan's Aokigahara forest found a red thread tied between trees. It stretched for miles, leading to a small, empty shrine. The thread was unbroken, with no knots or ends. Police couldn't trace its source or purpose. The thread was silk, impossibly strong, resisting all cuts. The shrine was ancient, with no records of its existence. Hikers felt uneasy, hearing faint whispers along the thread. The thread vanished overnight. Investigators found no human activity near the shrine. Locals avoided the area, calling it cursed. The thread reappeared briefly in 2006, then was gone. Police had no leads to follow. Some believe the thread was a guide to something lost. Others think it was a trap, luring the curious. The forest feels watchful. The mystery remains unsolved. Who tied the thread, and where did it lead? Aokigahara keeps its secrets. The case is closed. The woods whisper on. Story 18. The Hollow Tree. In 2011, a ranger in the Amazon found a tree with a hollow chamber inside. It contained a child's shoe, a locket, and a note saying, "I'm still here." No missing persons matched the items. Police found no explanation for the chamber. The tree was healthy, with no natural hollow. The items were dated to the 1980s, unweathered. The ranger reported hearing crying at night nearby. The items vanished from evidence. Investigators found no signs of human activity in the area. Locals spoke of spirits trapped in the forest. The tree sealed itself within weeks. The case was closed, unresolved. Hikers now hear faint cries near the site, but find nothing. The tree stands unmarked, silent. The forest feels alive, guarding its secret. The mystery endures. Who left the items, and what was the note's meaning? No answers exist. Police gave up. The Amazon holds its truth. Story 19. The Stone Clock. In 1995, a hiker in the Alps found a circle of stones arranged like a clock. Each stone was etched with a number, but the hands were missing. The ground beneath pulsed faintly, like a heartbeat. Police couldn't explain its origin or purpose. The stones were ancient, yet perfectly aligned. The pulse stopped when investigators arrived. No tools or marks were found nearby. The site was cordoned off, but the stones shifted overnight. Locals reported feeling dizzy near the clock. No cultural or historical match was found. The stones were removed, but the pulse returned sporadically. Police closed the case, baffled. Years later, hikers found new stones in the same pattern. They vanished under scrutiny, leaving no trace. The Alps feel alive. The mystery remains unsolved. What was the clock counting, and who built it? The mountains keep their secrets. The case is forgotten. The pulse lingers. Story 20. The Ghostly Lantern. In 2009, a camper in the Great Smoky Mountains found a lantern glowing in a tree. It flickered with no fuel or battery, casting eerie shadows. No owner or maker was identified. Police couldn't explain its light or placement. The lantern was cold, even when glowing brightly. Shadows it cast seemed to move independently. It stopped glowing when taken to a lab. The tree showed no signs of human activity. Locals reported seeing similar lights in the woods at night. No source was ever found. The lantern was lost from evidence storage. Police had no leads to pursue. Hikers now avoid the area, claiming shadows follow them. The light reappears sporadically, then vanishes. The forest feels watchful. The mystery endures, unsolved. What powered the lantern, and why was it there? No answers were found. The case is closed. The woods keep their secret.